Whoa, man. Oh my god, Penny, you're gonna knock me out. Alright, so today I've got a Sephora box here, which means we're trying a ton of new makeup. There's been so many new makeup launches lately, drugstore and high-end. I can't keep up. I'm gonna have a drugstore version of this coming. After I test these products more, I always do speed reviews videos, so if you want to see any of my past, I'll link the playlist down below. But it's just where I continue to test them in different ways, wear them throughout the day, and then give you my full updated thoughts after I've tried products more. But this is just the initial first impressions for you. There were some winners in today's video, also some fails, so you will see. But I hope you guys enjoy. If you do while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have all the products I tried today listed down below in the description box. Okay, filming at my aunt's house right now. I feel a little flustered because I just rushed over here to film. There's ongoing construction next door at our house, so figured you guys didn't want to hear jackhammering the entire video. So you hear little poodle footprints. We might see a guest appearance from Penny the Poodle. But starting off with SPF, this stuff has been my favorite lately. You can get on Yes Style. Once you rub it into the skin, it goes completely clear and it just gives a nice glow without being too tacky. It's not greasy at all, absorbs in well, wears well under makeup. I would say mid glow. It's not like as glowy as Super Goop or anything like that, but it does have a nice glow and it does moisturize your skin well too. And I'm just in pure natural light right in front of the window, just FYI. So sometimes because I like dewy face products like dewy tinted moisturizers and foundations, you have to kind of like balance out what you put underneath and over top. So if I like a glowy SPF, then sometimes it can be nice to have more of like a smoothing mattifying primer and then kind of like layering. So then doing glowy foundation and then a little bit of powder or whatever. So I wanted to try out this. This is a new product from Dior. It's the Forever Velvet Veil Blurring Matte Primer. Really pretty packaging. This looks like the Forever Matte Foundation, which I do love. I haven't used that in a while, but love that. Whoa, this is thin. Okay, it's very liquidy. Definitely fragranced. It smells like a Dior foundation. They're usually very perfumed and very fragranced. Okay, as it's drying down, it's definitely mattifying my skin and it's leaving kind of like a powdery-ish finish. If you have dry skin, usually you don't want to go for products like this, but lately my skin has been more on the normal side. And like I said, I do like to kind of layer products, but let's see how it mattifies my forehead, especially now that that glow from the SPF is on there. That was probably too much. It does feel like it dries pretty fast. I'm gonna kind of press this in. I feel like I need more caffeine today. This has been a whirlwind of a day, okay? Been up since 6 a.m. Not feeling well, made a comeback. Here we are, rushed over here to film, and now we are doing it. Maybe I'll make coffee really quick. Okay, that definitely mattified. I mean, you can see it's less glowy now. Okay, we have a few different routes we could go with the base product today. So I have this Iconic London Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint, which I tried in a vlog. I think that vlog will be up before this. And then I've also tried the House Labs foundation. So these would be like testing them more in this video. But I also have the new Tarte Amazonian Clay Powder Foundation. It says it's supposed to be a full coverage powder foundation. So I'm kind of leaning towards trying this today. Just a mini update on this one. This is full coverage. So far, I have been really liking this foundation. I wore this to a wedding and it lasted all night, looked nice. I like the shade of this too for my tanner shade. It's 230 light, medium, cool. Definitely liking this more than the Makeup by Mario foundation so far, but I'm gonna continue to test this. And I think today we're gonna do the powder foundation, I have decided. You know what, I just realized, so typically I wouldn't use this kind of primer with the powder foundation. Usually I would use something more moisturizing and glowy because this is a powder. So that might not be the best combo for my skin. Maybe I'll do a little both. Maybe I'll put on a little bit of this and then we'll top it off with the powder foundation. Let's do that. But I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Positive Light Under Eye Brightener. People have been raving about this. I've used it twice so far and to be honest, I'm not getting the hype. And whenever you do powder foundation, you want to do all of the liquids underneath first. This does have a metal tip, which feels cooling, nice and cooling under the eye. It does come out a bit weird. It's just kind of like sporadic, but that's okay. Both times I've used this, I feel like it just kind of emphasizes my under eyes, the lines a little bit more than I would like for this kind of product. These kind of like light coverage, just brightening products, I would want to look like you just kind of don't have anything on and just looks a little bit too drying underneath my eyes. And for just like a natural brightening effect, I way prefer the Becca Smashbox Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I've been using this a ton and I love it. If you want something like that, I think this is better than the Rare Beauty one personally. I don't totally get the hype with this. This looks like a little dry underneath my eyes personally. I'm gonna do a very, very light, very small amount of this foundation. Not how I typically would apply it because I'm gonna use like I said, super small amount, just so I have a little bit of something for the powder to stick to, because like I said, I don't love that kind of base for a powder foundation typically. Also, I'm just kind of curious how this looks over the primer. Usually it has like a nice satin finish, not too glowy, definitely not matte. And I'm using a very small amount, like probably a third or half of what I usually would. But as you can see, it still has nice coverage, and you'll see on this side, because I do have more redness from a hot pack this morning. It just looks really nice and skin-like. I actually do think that primer is making it look a little bit more matte than usual. Just so you can see, here's the amount I'm using. Literally so tiny. We'll see how this amount covers this redness. For my forehead, I'm gonna put just a little bit on my dry sponge. I wouldn't say this primer is doing any like crazy smoothing or blurring. I do think it's mattifying, but again, I'm curious if it wears well throughout the day and helps foundations wear better. But just for like the initial application, it's definitely not like a blurring product. I'm actually gonna apply this as concealer today, so you can see it. Keep in mind, it's going on top of the brightener, which did add a little bit of dryness under my eyes, so maybe this will help bring some moisture back in, but I've been using this just as concealer. Like, look at that. I just feel like the brightening is better, looks more moisturized and like healthy. This eye definitely looks significantly brighter than this eye. Okay, I would say with that small amount of foundation, I'm at about medium coverage. You definitely can still see some stuff coming through. You can still see some redness and just freckles and stuff, which I'm glad about because I do want to see how much coverage this powder foundation has. Thought we just stopped recording for a second. We're good. I have the shade 26N, which is light medium neutral. Hoping this is good. Have not tried this yet. I just realized I don't have my normal powder brush that I would use for this, but that's okay. I still have this brush, which I've been loving for bronzer actually, but it'll totally work too. And actually this one doesn't come with a sponge, which is interesting, right? Or is it in the box? Oh, it does. Okay, never mind. Maybe I'll just use this. Let's use this on the side where I need more coverage, because usually these things give decent amount of coverage. Okay, I'm excited. And then I'm gonna do brows after. I don't like to do brows before powdering. So I'm just gonna do a swipe, and here we go. Hope this is good. Hope it's the right color. I don't like to super like swipe because A, I have, you know, the liquid down below, underneath, so I don't want to like wipe it away. And B, you usually get a little better coverage if you kind of pat. Initially, it's not full coverage, at least with this method. Like the J-Cat powder foundation definitely has more coverage than this. It's not looking amazing around my pores. I'm gonna try the brush on this side and see what I think. Sometimes it really just depends on the application. Ooh, already brush is looking better. And a lot of times I like using powder foundations as like finishing powders, not on their own. There are a couple that I like on their own, but I'd say probably like 80% of the time I use powder foundations just as finishing powder. Okay, that's looking pretty. Right now my mind isn't like blown or anything. I'm also curious if this is gonna crease because it almost looks like it's starting to. The brush, I definitely prefer the brush over the sponge with this. And it's not looking great on my forehead. Definitely looks a little like I can just see it on there. Gonna keep trying this, but I'm not blown away. For comparison, I definitely like the coverage and finish of this Powder Better Essence, and it's like $5. But this one I do like to use underneath my eyes, and lately I just have been doing it on the outer half of my eye. My mascara and stuff doesn't transfer down, because sometimes if you have a sticky concealer, your mascara can transfer down more, but if you do this and just put it on the outer half, you get like the benefit of having no powder right here, which on me just looks better, but then you don't have the mascara transfer issue. This has been my go-to brow combo. It's been working great for me. The Lawless Brow Gel with the Joa Brow Pencil in the shade Brunette. I think this is my favorite brow shade I have found so far. Okay, I'm super excited to try this because I actually picked this up in store, so I've seen the shade in person. House Labs, I'm gonna lay down. House Labs by Lady Gaga Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in the shade Medium Level 5. The shade that looked perfect was Light 4, so that was sold out in store, but if I like the formula of this, I'll probably pick up that shade online. Do I have the sun? Okay, we're good. Oh, beautiful packaging. Has this like soft matte material on the outside, but that looks like you can still clean it. Very pretty packaging. Bronzer shade looks promising. I'm gonna use that same brush. This is by Anissa Beauty, by the way. I've been loving their brushes. Don't know how pigmented this is, so I'm just gonna do one tap to start and see. Going in with a little more. Ooh, that looks nice and natural, that tone. This seems like one of those bronzers that you can build up. Like, you definitely aren't gonna get too much because you can build it, which I like. Very pretty tone, and it's natural for sure. Has a nice undertone to it. I would say the finish is like satin matte, but more on the matte side. Like it doesn't look too glowy. This is a pretty shade. It's reminded me a little bit of the Hourglass bronzer, just like the amount of pigmentation and how it looks on the face. It definitely has like a slight radiance to it, but it's not glowy. It just has this like subtle radiance, and there's something about the tone that is really doing it for me. I feel like it's also making my eyes pop a little bit, because I was just scrolling looking at the new releases on Sephora, and this shade specifically really caught my eye. It's the Too Faced Cloud Crush Matte Blush, Diffused Matte. Looked kind of glowy online from their swatches, I thought. Okay, it looks kind of like a muted mauve berry color. You guys, apparently I did not pack the brushes well. My apologies, we're going with the same brush. These are my options right now. So it's gonna be this one. But hey, obviously this brush is multi-use. Smells like sunscreen. Definitely matte. It actually is adding like a nice soft finish though. It doesn't look too powdery. It might add a really nice balance, especially if you're wearing like a more glowy base, because this has a very pretty soft matte finish. Okay, I understand the diffused matte. There we go. I do actually agree. It doesn't look like a normal kind of powdery blush. You know what? I'm actually really liking that. Why are my eyes very red all of a sudden? I don't know if that scent's making my eyes water or what. Liking that. These two so far, winners. Very curious to try these, especially because I want to see how they go over powder. But these are the Rare Beauty Positive Light Silky Touch Highlighters. It says ultra silky powder highlighter that melts onto the skin for an effortless iridescent glow. This is the lightest shade, which is Enlighten. This looks freaking insane in the pan. I'm so curious how this looks on my face, because whoa. The shade Exhilarate is more of like looks like a light gold kind of champagne color. And then this is the darkest of the three I have. This one looks like it has like a pinkish kind of undertone. And this one is Mesmerize. I want to swatch this to see how dark this is, like if it's too dark for my skin tone. Oh, that looks like a pretty, almost like blush topper. These kind of shades can work. I usually just bring them a little bit lower so it does look more like a blush topper. There is glitter in the sunlight, just FYI. I feel like you can see the swatches better back here, but here's the lightest one, the gold one, and then like the pinker one. I'm drawn towards the pinkish one. I think that could look really nice. So I'm going in with Mesmerize, which is actually the darkest one I have. Okay, I like barely touched it to my face. And this is so, whoa, okay. This is like the highlight back in the day. This is beamin'. Oh, this shade though is looking really pretty. Whoa, man. I'm literally barely touching my brush. I only dipped in one time, but I feel like you gotta use like a really light hand with this. I'm gonna wipe some off because like this is intense. Definitely not a subtle highlighter. My camera like doesn't know how to do the exposure because this is so intense. But I still like it. I wouldn't say it's like overly emphasizing my texture. I thought that was water dripping and it was her paws. Hey. Woo. Whoa, that breath is killer. Need an Altoid. Oh my god, Penny, you're gonna knock me out. Okay, I'm gonna prime my eyes. I'm using Laura Mercier Caviar Eye Stick and Vanilla Kiss. Okay, decided I do want to try the Rare Beauty products on my eyes because I think it might look killer. Maybe I'll just do the bronzer. Yeah, let's just use what we got. I'm gonna actually try the bronzer in my crease because why not? Sometimes that can also just really tie together your face nicely when you put your bronzer in the crease. And I don't want to do anything too dramatic today. I just kind of want it to be like soft and airy, and I have these like pretty lashes I want to try. I think I'm gonna take the middle shade, which is Exhilarate. It is a really interesting feel. Like it's definitely dry to the touch. I mean, I guess it is a powder, that's what they say. Yeah, dude, look at this. This is a beautiful lid color. It's technically a highlighter, but this is stunning on the eyes. This would be a beautiful bridal shade. It has that soft and like silkiness. This is the shade Exhilarate, by the way. Don't know if I said that. That's stunning. I'm gonna put a little bit of the lightest one now, Enlighten. Okay, as I was doing my eyeshadow, I just had to delete stuff off the memory card, so I'm hoping that didn't just cut that, but I used the lightest shade on my inner corner, and I feel like this is what I'm gonna be just putting on my inner corner these days because it is beautiful. So pretty as eyeshadow. Like, look at that pop, man. Love that so much. I'm bringing the bronzer down to my lower lash line. For a little bit more depth on the eyes, I'm gonna take a brown from the Patrick Ta palette. I think I'm going with this one. I'm just gonna smoke it out a little bit, like close to my lash line. Just to almost create like a soft winged shape. Trying to stay out of the patch of sun right now. Mommy. Is your mom home?
This is great.
Do you want to say hi?
To the camera?
Yeah.
Hi. I have these very fancy earrings on that I just got.
Ooh,
to wear
those
to,
are really pretty and sparkly.
Because I'm going to Palm Beach and I needed something sparkly.
Whoa, you just got those?
Yeah.
They're pretty. This mascara, look at this packaging. Penny's running all over. This mascara packaging is so cute with the black and white checker. I'm in love. And this is a very interesting wand. So look at this thing. There's like a ball on the end. Looks like rubber bristles. And I think the idea is so you can kind of use it like this afterwards and kind of get in your lashes. I could be wrong, but we'll see how this goes. I do want to put on false lashes, but I'm going to apply this like I would if I was just using mascara so we can see how it does. By the way, I still don't know if this brand is called Give or GXVE, but it's the Gwen Stefani brand. Okay, this is doing some really nice separating and lengthening. If you like a lot of length and not as much like volume, you might really like this. This one I could see being really good layered with another mascara. I mean, I'm liking it on its own right now, but if you want that volume, I feel like I can get my outer lashes easier. Don't know if that was the intended purpose, but it's working. And I wouldn't say it's too wet of a formula. It feels nice, like in between. Here's a second coat. Let's go on this side. This is looking nice. Hopefully this one doesn't smudge or anything and wears well because it's doing some nice things for my lashes. And I almost don't feel like I need false lashes with this. Like, but I do have these ones. These are actually from Amazon, but I've been really wanting to try them. They're 5D. I don't know how that's possible, but okay. 5D mink fur, 100% cruelty free. So it's faux mink. It says that you can wear these 20 to 25 times and that they're lightweight and fluffy. They look really pretty. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do lips and then decide if I want to put those on. And I might put on some lower lash. Ooh, what should I put on the waterline? Hold on. This is from Ulta. I've been loving this. It's the don't know how to say this brand, but it's the Très Luce Intenso eyeliner in Tranquilla. This is like a creamy light nude shade and it's so nice. I also really like the black from this brand and it's affordable. I think this is like $11 around there. Looks so nice on the waterline. So I have two different kind of tinted balm, tinted oils that I'm really curious about. But even when I use these kind of products, I do like to put on a little bit of lip liner just to create a little more shape and definition. So I'm gonna go in with this one that I've been loving from Tarte. It's the mauve shade of the Maracuja Juicy Lip Liner. I actually tried this in my last first impressions video and I've been using it a lot. It's a good pinkier shade. Like if I want a little bit more pink than Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, I'll go in with this. I mean, it's a lot more pink, but. And when I'm doing like a tinted balm, I want my natural lips to come through. So I don't like to put lip liner everywhere. I kind of just like blur it out so it looks more natural. If you have a little bit of pink in your natural lips, like to begin with, this shade I feel like does a really nice job. It's pink, but it's still natural. Look at that. Love it. I want to try both of these. So first, this is Amy Cole Lip Treatment Oil in the shade Bliss. I think I saw someone talking about this on Instagram stories. And then I also have this. I also saw, who did I see? I want to say it was Melissa Flores maybe. I think she was talking about one of these, but this is the Ilia Balmy Tint in Lullaby Hydrating Lip Balm. So both of these are kind of like tinted balm, tinted oils. Let me try the Ilia first. This smells heavenly. It smells like sugar cookies. Okay, pretty shade, but it actually is pretty pigmented for like a tinted lip balm. So I'm just kind of blending that out with my finger and kind of like rubbing off the excess. Okay, after I did that, that looks pretty. Definitely not glossy. It's more of like a matte. It doesn't have a glossy finish. Feels comfortable on the lips. I would say if you're someone who doesn't like to feel lip product on your lips, but you want a little bit of color just for like day to day that you could throw on without looking, this would probably be nice. I might rub off a little bit of that because I do want to try the Amy Cole and see how pigmented this is and then decide what to do. I've moved this table like 10 times because I keep getting in the sun. Okay, this has one of those really big applicators, which I actually like for lip products. I feel like it feels really nice and plush. What's it smell like? I don't think is it scented? I feel like I'm just smelling the vanilla from the balm. Ooh, but that has a nice feel to it. It's not too oily. It feels nice and like plush. It feels a little bit actually like the House Labs tinted lip oil that I love. Has a similar kind of feel. It feels very nice on the lips. Comfortable. I like that shade. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, son, you're killing me, man. I think I'm gonna try this mascara on the lower lashes using that little end, like the little ball. I don't think I want to do lashes today. I feel like I don't really need them and I'm liking this kind of more natural look. Okay, it's like I'm making my bottom lashes real long. This lip oil is feeling good and it's looking nice and smoothing, like it's making my lips look nice and juicy. I want to bring that highlighter a little bit more towards my nose just so it looks nice and glowy. over here. There we go. This is pretty. I mean, it's intense, but pretty. Look at that. Okay, I think this is the final makeup look. I'm gonna go through my standout products and then things I think you could pass on, but definitely the Rare Beauty Positive Light Illuminators for eyeshadow. Like, I'm excited to put these on my eyes again, especially that inner corner highlight shade I used, the lightest one. But then also that pink shade, if you want something intense, I mean, this is pretty, and I just feel like this would photograph really well. The House Labs bronzer, I'm also really excited to use again. Just the tone is really nice. It's not the most pigmented or the most, like, you know how some bronzers I talk about how it adds a nice layer on top, as in like a little bit more coverage. This one I think is more of like a sheer buildable bronzer, just like the Hourglass, but I would say this is more matte than the Hourglass. So I do really like the tone. I think it's a nice flattering tone and it softened everything up. Speaking of softening, like I said, I do get the diffused matte whole thing, and I usually just gravitate more towards either like peachy or pinkier, but this is different. Like, I don't have a lot of blushes this color in my collection, so it's pretty, it's different, but I do really like the finish. And then this lip oil, definite standout. I want to check out their other shades. Did I even say what shade I got? This is Bliss. I mean, this is really pretty, and this is like definitely a color that I would reach for on a day-to-day. I'm into these like pinky tones, but I really like the formula of this. I like the sheen. It's comfortable. It feels moisturizing without being sticky at all. Very excited to keep using the mascara, see how it wears, because I got some good length, some good separation. I would say this compared to the Tower 28 mascara, which is the other one that I've been using a ton lately, that is definitely more volume. That just depending on what you like. Love the packaging. The Ilia is interesting. It's different than I thought it was going to be. Like I said, it is more matte. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of this. I feel like it's just a little bit too pigmented for me, but I definitely think a certain, person would like this, depending on what you're looking for. If you want just like a tinted kind of more matte lip balm. This, I think you can totally pass on, honestly. I think the Rare Beauty thing is definitely overhyped, the Positive Light Under Eye Brightener. The Tarte Powder, initial impression, not loving. It doesn't look bad. My base definitely is like wearable, looks fine, but I'm not wowed. I don't think my skin looks incredible right now. It looks a little bit more textured than I would like, and I don't think it's full coverage. I just have other drugstore powders that I like more than this off the bat. So I think for the price, I'm initially iffy about the Dior Forever Velvet Veil Primer because it's not blurring. Maybe it helps the foundation wear well throughout the day. Maybe it controls oil well. It might be one of those where that's the benefit, but just initially going on makeup over top, I would say so far I prefer the Shiseido Synchro Skin Primer more than that. I think that gives more of like a soft blurring-ish finish, veil finish. This one I'm gonna keep using. And then this wasn't a new one, but love this lip liner shade. I think those are the standouts. I'm gonna have a foundation updates video coming where I update on this and about 5 or 6 other new foundation launches that I've been testing. Like I said, there's just been so many launches lately that I'm trying to keep up, give you all the info, but it's coming. I will have a foundation update showing how they all go on, what I think of them, how they wear throughout the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. But if you want to see my last video trying new makeup, I'll have that linked down below as well. Everything I talked about and tried on is listed down below in the description box, always. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.